Hey, shalom everyone. I'm Gary Dorshinsky, the Rabbi of Beth, Ariel, LA, and I want to invite you to our upcoming Hanukkah celebration. We'll be getting together Saturday morning, 11 a.m., December the 24th, to celebrate Hanukkah, and we want you to come. We'll be meeting in our Woodland Hills location, where we always have service every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. So December 24th, come out and join us to celebrate Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. You'll have a great time, and we'll have a wonderful time of celebrating the coming of Messiah, who is the light of the world. Hey, I hope to see you there. Shalom and shalom.
Hey guys, I'm Pastor Andrew Jackson of Beth, Ariel, LA. Thanks for checking out this video. We make these classes and videos available for you to help you grow in the Lord. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe, thumbs up, and comment. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. So let's get started.
Okay, so as we get started, does everyone have, I want to make sure everybody has the handouts I've given thus far. Does everybody have exercise 1? Okay, keep that on top because we're gonna look at that in a moment. But so everybody has 1. Okay. Does everyone have exercise 2? Everybody?
Yes. I think my wife is playing
1 and 2? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. She's running late, is she?
Well, no, she was talking to someone in
Okay. So, no, you don't have to get up, Wolfgang.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Those 2. Okay, so that's exercise 2. Exercise 1. Does everybody have exercise 3? That has the liturgy. Okay. This has the liturgical stuff that we do on Saturday morning. You have that right there, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have it, Miriam? Okay. Back here, we're good? Okay. And does everyone have exercise 4? No. Okay, so that's where we go. That's where we go next. Now, before we start reading some of the things that we've already been working with, I want to come back to our basics. So I'd like us to say the names of the letters, then we'll say the sounds of them. Everyone good? All right, so let's start together. That's the letter Aleph. Okay, hold on, let's get back. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalid, Hey, Vav, Zion, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kof, Resh, Sin, Shin, Taf. Okay? So now you know what you need to go over. If you didn't get all those letters, the names of them, got to practice the names. Because as we go forward, we're going to start writing words, and you're going to say, oh, what do you do with the letter? We have to be able to name them. But you don't need to name them to read. But you will need to name them in order to discuss it, right? Okay, so now what I'd like us to do is to just go over the sounds. Okay? So letter Aleph is silent. So how do we make the sound for this? Let's just go right down together. Okay? So if you weren't able to go there, you know what you need to work on. Okay? Because the sounds have got to come if you want to read. And the names need to be known if you want to talk about them. Okay? Then we had our vowels. So let's just do the sounds of them first. A, O. So the red line is like the line upon which, where it stands in relation to the line. So let's try that again. Okay? So now I made a mistake on this. As I'm looking at this, this is not correct. So let me change this. So really our line is like that. Okay? All right, so we have e, u, a, o. And then how do we pronounce these compound vowels? You pronounce this? A, E, O, U. Okay? So A, E, O, U. A consonant would fill in over the vowel. We just want to see what the vowel is. Okay? So our name. What's the name of that? Patach, Kamatz, Segol, Hireg. That's the kibbutz. Seri, Holam. This is the Kamatz. Right? Holam Vav. And that's the salute, right? This is the kibbutz, and this is the shurek. Okay? So, Patach, Kamatz, Segol, Holam, kibbutz, Seri, Holam. Oh, that's the Hirik. Kamatz, Seri Yod, Hirik Yod, Holam Vav, and the shurek. Okay? A, E, U, A, O. A, E, O, U. All right? So that's our basic stuff that we've looked at. Now, take out exercise 1. Okay, exercise 1. So together, let's read down the right-hand side of the column the words that are on exercise 1. Okay, everybody ready? First word is me. Go ahead. Who? He. Davar. Adam. Bayit. Shalom. Rachel. Yosef. David, Natan, Yehoshaphat. Okay? All right? If you had struggles with that, you need to go over it. You need just to review it. Okay? Exercise 2. Oh, let me get it. I thought I put them all there. Exercise 2. Okay? Let's do the same thing. We'll read down the right side. Okay? First word is Shlomo. Avram. Shemuel. Av. Bain. Machaneh. Melech. Shoftim. Bit, Po, Okay, so now if you put that away, now I want you to tell me what the translation is of these words. Okay, so I'll read it, you tell me what it is. Ready? Me. Shalom. Peace. He. She. Who? He. Rachel. Yosef. Adam. Or man, right? Okay. Bayit. Natan. Okay. David. Yehoshaphat. Who? He. Me. Davar. He. Rachel. Okay. Avram. Abram. Po. Here. Ish. Man. Melech. King. Shoftim. Judges. Machaneh. Camp. Bavel. Elohim. Ke. Ke, like or as. Okay, so I guess we might say something like that. Bain, son. Li, 2 or 4. Okay, if any of those went by, you didn't catch it. Sometimes it's harder to hear than to see, but something to work on. Okay, so that was exercise 2, correct? All right, we're now on to exercise 3. Okay, so let's try reading this together. So we're going to start in the back. Okay? Carlton, exercise 3, practice reading. So give us the second line.
Second line. Baruch Shenatan Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'dushato.
Okay, so that was very good. A couple of things. Now, notice Carlton read Baruch. Okay, now notice the shwa is on the final kaf. So that closes the syllable. Resh, shurek, final kaf, close the syllable, shwa. And so we pronounce that letter as cha. Cha. So it's Baruch. You got that because the shwa closes the syllable. Baruch. Then we had She, Natan, Torah. What does the word Torah mean? Torah or law. Okay. Le'amo. Le'amo. What does le mean? Le. 2 or 4. So le'amo. Is the word for people. And amo is, the O is a possessive pronoun. We'll get there. So it's le'amo is to his people. Is people. Le, 2 or 4. You could say for his people. Yis. Notice the shwa closes that syllable, right? Yis, ra, el. Bik. Shwa closes the syllable. The kaf is in a closed syllable. Beit, hirik, kaf, shwa closes it. So you pronounce that bik, du, sha, to. Bik, du, sha, to. Okay? Everybody see that? Can read that okay? Kadosh is holy. So O, what's the O at the end of a word? O at the end of a word, Holam Vav. I said it, right? Oh, what was le'amo? What was the O at the end of a word? Possessive pronoun, his. To his people. So bikdu shato, O at the end is going to be his. Bi before word. Bait before the word. What's bi before word mean? What's that? In, with, or by. You have to remember all your options, right? In, with, or by. So we know bikdu shato means something with in, with, or by, and o, his. So Kaf Daled Shin is like the word kadosh. That's the root. And the root for kadosh means holy. So you can see bi in kadosh to, his holiness. Okay? We didn't get to learn all these words yet, but I'm just trying to, what we can be aware of, we can kind of figure out some ideas, right? So, Bikdu Shato, in his holiness. Okay? Craig, why don't you give us the fourth line down? Okay? Okay, let me just hold there for a moment. When you have Yud, He, Vav, He, that's the sacred name of God. Sometimes you'll see it with vowels. The vowel pointing, we haven't learned the word Adonai yet, but the vowel pointings that often goes with the sacred name of God are the vowels to Adonai. So you don't those vowels are meant to tell you, don't try to read this word, just pronounce Adonai. Why? How do we know that? Because the vowels go with Adonai. And this is because the sacred name of God is what? Sacred. Yes, but it is what? Unknown. Unpronounceable. So since we cannot pronounce it, that means what? We cannot pronounce it.
So is it unpronounceable because we don't know how to pronounce it?
Correct. And therefore, and we also, if we did know, we don't want to, because then we might violate the commandment that says not to take the Lord's name in vain. So that's why in the Jewish world, God will be printed G-D or L-RD, because you might throw away that paper, and thereby treating the name written down in an improper way. So they put dashes so that if you throw it away, you haven't really thrown away the sacred name of God, even in English. But the only thing I want you to know is when you see the consonants, Yud, He, Vav, He, it's the sacred name of God, you say Adonai. Okay, but let's come back to you, Greg. So why don't you start us off again, line 4. Okay, so we have Baruch, means blessed. Adonai, the Lord. Notice Ham Vorach. The Shua closes the syllable. So it's not Ham Vorach, although sometimes when we sing it, in order to have enough syllables, we might sing Ham Vorach. I forget the word. Right? Le'olam va'ed, right? But that's not really a right pronunciation. It's really Ham Vorach. So it's okay. Le'olam, li before a word means what? 2 or 4. So olam is the word for ever or eternity. So le'olam is to eternity or for eternity. And va'ed is eternity again. So it's le'olam va'ed is a strong way of saying forever and ever. Okay? Wolfgang, why don't you give us the third line? You don't need to know right now. When we get vocabulary, it'll come together. Right now, I just want you to read. Wolfgang. Not Barak. At the end of the word, we have the shurek, which is pronounced how? Everybody together. How is the shurek at the end pronounced? Ooh. Okay, so you're going to pronounce this word. Bar-chu, right? Because we got the kaf without the dot. It's not hard. Bar-ku, it's ku. Bar-ku, okay? And bar-ku, if you look at the word above it and below it, has the same root. What is the root for bar-chu? What are the letters?
Beth, Resh, and Vav.
No, the vav is a vowel. That's the kaf. So what I want you to see, now listen, what I want you to see is that just about all words can be reduced to a root form. Everything else is added around the root in order to give some kind of grammatical structure. So when you look at a word like barhu, you see the beit resh kaf. It's just like baruch. Why is the kaf different on baruch than it is on barhu?
Because the kaf is final.
Because it's a final kaf. So it's going to look different, but it's the same letter. So if you were like figuring out what is it, you'd have to look up in a dictionary or a lexicon, beit resh kaf. That's what you look up in the dictionary. You need to figure out the root word in order to get the dictionary form. Because all these other things are basically grammatical matters. We're not there yet. I'm just giving you an inkling, then down the road you'll hear more. So, bar-hu. Now we say bar because the shawah closes the syllable. Bar-hu, go ahead. Et. Now, et in Hebrew is a direct object marker. So whenever you see et, it's non-translatable. It's a grammatical indicator. So it's pointing, it's telling you this is the direct object. The direct object is that which is affected by the action. So for example, if I say, Carlton threw the ball, the object of the verb throw is the ball. That's what got the action of the verb, or that's what got the action done to it. The direct object is that which receives action. So when it says Carlton, that's the subject. Threw, that's the verb. The ball, that's the direct object of the verb. Everyone good? So here, it's saying Baruch, blessed, right? We said Baruch means to bless. Baruch is, we'll get into that, but it's blessed. Now we're going to find out who gets the action. So, et Adonai. So who's the one to be blessed? Adonai. God, right? Adonai. So whenever you see et, it's telling you who the recipient of the action is. Baruch et Adonai. Go ahead. Ham vo rach. Now, what is the root word of ham vo rach?
Beit resh kaf.
Beit resh kaf. Okay? So the meaning of that word is going to be,
Blessed.
it's going to have something to do with blessed. Okay? And we know that when we translate it, we say, blessed is the Lord who is blessed. Literally, this is, blessed is the Lord, the one who is being blessed. Okay, we'll get into the definite article down the road. I just want you to see similarities. You see Baruch, you see Ham Vorach, same root. You see Baruch, same root. You see Ham Vorach, same root. Okay? So we've got Carlton.
Yes,
Oh, you read it already?
I read it.
Okay, so we're good. Rodney, give us the first line.
The very first line?
Yes.
It was an E. And
Okay, hold on. We've been, look at the second, look at the second line, first word, third line, first word, first word on the fourth line. We've all had the kaf.
Right.
But in those passages, the kaf did not have the dot.
Right.
When it has the dot, how is it pronounced?
Oh, you're talking about
The consonant.
Okay, that's the.
No.
No, it's the.
No? Okay. So this is good. Hold on, look up here. We talked about the tittle. The tittle is the smallest, no? Mark or stroke of a letter. It distinguishes letters from one another, and you confuse two letters that would otherwise be distinguished. So if we have this letter, with that, we have the letter Bet. I didn't put the dot in it, but I could have. The letter Bet. If we have this letter, we now have the letter what? Kaf. Right? I just wrote it different because I'm trying to illustrate something. If I was to write it, I just write it like that. But you see what's missing is the tittle. If I put the tittle in, you might think it's that. So look at the first word. Does it have the tittle or no? No. So it's not a bait or a v or a b sound. So what letter is it? It's a cuff with the dot. So it's got to sound like k, right? Kaf, k. If it doesn't have the dot, how do we pronounce it? Ka. Okay? That's why we pronounced bar-ku. That's why we pronounced bar-ruch. We didn't pronounce it bar-ku or baruch. We pronounced it bar-hu, bar-ruch, because this is the kaf without the dot. Therefore, it has a softer cha sound. But then we have what vowel with it, Rodney? Up here.
That's the, it makes the ear sound.
No. What's it called first?
Oh, what's it called?
What is the vowel that's under the first word? Hirik yod. Hirik yod. And how does the hirik yod sound? E. So how do we pronounce the first word? Ki. Okay? So the first word is ki. Ki. And the word ki, you can put this in vocabulary if you like. The word ki means because or for, in the sense of it being for this purpose. It is due to this reason. It is because of that. Okay, so ki is the word because. Not to be confused with ki, which is an inseparable preposition, which means like or as. Okay? Ki is because or for. Ki, before words, an inseparable preposition, is like or as. Le is to or for. And that's like giving something for someone. So this is ki. Okay? Next word.
So the first letter is a summit, is that right?
The first letter in the second word is not a samic. What is it?
It's not?
No?
Mem.
It's a mem.
Okay.
Okay? And the vowel is a... It is I. What's the name? Hirik. So how do you pronounce the first syllable?
Mid.
Mi.
Mid.
Mi. What's our second letter?
Is that the Ian?
Tsadi. So the tsadi will sound like
Like in less.
tsa. Yes. And what vowel is with it? Hirik yod. Okay. So look at ki. What's the vowel with ki? Hirik yod. What's the vowel under the tsadi in the second word? Hirik yod. Take a look at...
Is it an open, actually, should it be an open where it's just the zadi and the hirik, and the next one would be a yad and a hole and bob?
You mean yo?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No. Because we haven't gone into the dot in the tsadi, which is actually a doubling dot. So you're to imagine two tsadis side by side. So you really pronounce it mitzion. So that syllable is, so the first syllable is closed. Mem, hirik, tsadi that you don't see. The next syllable, it's tsadi, hirik yod. Yeah. Now, and but now you've got the own. That's what you're talking about. So now I'm going to look into that. Because we don't, the word Sion is not pronounced Sion. You know, it's almost like it's too hard to do, that I think what goes on, it just gets sort of absorbed into it in pronunciation. So in Hebrew, you have what two issues go on. Hold on over here. Two issues that go on. The written and the spoken. One's called the Ketiv and the, I forget what the other word. It's like, and I'll look at this. So when scholars talk, they'll talk about what is written, but what is spoken, like Adonai for the sacred name of God. What's written is, but what's spoken, and I think this is a similar kind of thing because of the nature of speaking the word itself. You know, it doesn't follow the rule because it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know, so you may be right on that, and I want to check that. So we have Ki Mitzion. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Ki Mitzion. So Rodney, what's our next word?
So it's a sound with.
What's the name of the letter?
Tough.
Tough. And what's the vowel?
Sarah.
And it's pronounced
A.
the syllable.
Te.
Te. Okay. And the second syllable is made up of three elements. The consonant is a
Sudi.
tzadi. The vowel is a sere. And the final consonant is a aleph. The aleph is silent, so how are you going to pronounce this? Okay, Teitzei. So what I'm going to suggest is, this is why you don't want to write a lot of notes and stuff, you know? You want to get it here. And the more you sort of look at your notes to do it, you're telling your brain you don't want to get it here, you know? It's sort of like you got to give your brain room to do its job. So you want to do a lot. You want to look at this for a little bit, put it away. Come back to it, repeat it, go to the next one. You know, because you don't want to keep having to go through 2 or 3 things. Yeah, because you won't be able to, you're just going to struggle along the way. You got to sort of depart with the thing that feels like you're tied to in order to move forward. You know, it's just the nature of the beast. Okay, so I don't want to, let's do one more so we get to the comma. So we have Ki, Mitzion, Teitzei. Go ahead.
And then we've got a tough with a yod.
Not yod.
No? A holam vav.
Okay, and the holam vav is pronounced
O.
O. So that first syllable is
To.
to.
And then there's a resh.
Uh-huh.
Kama.
Yes.
So it'll be ra.
Ra.
And then we've got.
So how do we pronounce it? The hay is it's just going to follow the syllable. So how are you going to pronounce that word?
Torah.
Not Torah.
Torah.
Torah. Okay? So Ki, Mitzion, Teitzei, Torah. Okay? Are you ready to...
No, I passed it.
Give me your first name again. Why? I don't know. I got a blank here.
Pauline.
Oh, Pauline. Okay. Okay. So Wendy, give us the next phrase in the first line.
Next phrase, okay. Devar
Uh-huh.
Adonai mi Yerushalayim.
Okay. Mirushalayim. Davar. What does the word davar mean? Word. So now look. The before word, the vav before word, even if it's a vowel, is generally, maybe always, the conjunction. What's a conjunction?
It's a connecting word.
A connecting word. So what's our connecting word in English? And. Okay? Well, those are contrasts, but and is a conjunction. So when you see v before word, it's generally and. So what is udavar going to mean?
And the word.
Okay? Now, we didn't learn construct arrangements. And so when you have udavar Adonai, that's a construct, which means the something of, and the something of, and the word of the Lord. So the something of is what, like when we say Beit Ariel, it's not Bayit Ariel. Bayit Ariel would be house, line of God. Beit is in construct. So the something of, the house of the line of God. The something of. Does that make sense? That's sort of the construction for that phrase. We'll get there, but I'm just reminding us of it. Mi Yerushalayim, from Jerusalem. Okay? So now, and this is another interesting thing. I don't want to throw too much, but you can see how some of these phrases come together. The Hebrew word min, mem nun, is the preposition from. When you combine min Yerushalayim, the mem drops out, the nun drops out, and it gets absorbed into the word. So when you have mi Yerushalayim, that's the preposition from Jerusalem. So this final clause you can actually translate pretty well with what I've told you. Udavar, and the word of the Lord, mi Yerushalayim, from Jerusalem. So that's what you'll see over and over. Okay, so let's look at the first line. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Udevar Adonai Mirushalayim. Second line. Did we do this one? No. We did? Okay, second line. Baruch Shenatan Torah Le'amo Yisrael Bikdu Shato. Everybody good?
Yes.
Third line. Did we do that one? Yes. Okay. Baruch Et Adonai Ham Vorach. What does the word et mean? It points, it's a marker. Direct object marker. Okay? Fourth line. Baruch Adonai Ham Vorach Le'olam Va'ed. Le before word, what does it mean? Two or four. Okay, you always want to have both options. Okay? 2 or 4. Okay. Marlene, you ready on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line? Okay. Holam Vav is pronounced O. So how do we pronounce it? The last consonant is the letter Sh. Kadosh. What's the second word? What's the third word? What's the fourth word? No? Fourth word. No. What do we say when we see Yud Hey Vav Hey? So start from the beginning. Don't write anything. You know that. Start from the beginning. No, you don't pronounce.
Don't pronounce that. Okay, that's Adonai.
Okay, start again.
Kadosh, Adonai.
Okay, so there's our four words in the front line. Kadosh, Adonai. What's our first consonant in the 5th word? Tzadi with a shawah. How do we pronounce it? Tse. Okay, so tse. Bait without a dot, Rodney? The. But we have the vowel, what's the consonant? Ah. So how do we pronounce that? Tsiva, va. Tsiva. We have the aleph. How do you pronounce an aleph? Silent. What's the vowel following the aleph? Holam vav. How do you pronounce it? And at the end we have the letter taf. Has it sound? So how do we pronounce just the end? Ot. Okay? So how do we pronounce all 3 syllables? Tse, va, ot. So let's say it more fluidly. Tzivaot. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tzivaot. Okay, Adonai Tzivaot. Now you can translate this because kadosh is the Hebrew word for holy. So when the angels that were around the throne of God that Isaiah sees, we didn't look at it today, Isaiah chapter 6, around the throne, what did they say? Holy. No, what did they say? So kadosh means holy, holy, holy. Adonai, the Lord. Tzivaot is hosts, right? Or armies. Now let me show you something else. I know I'm throwing things, but they'll come back at you. We talked about O at the ending. What did I say that it signified? What does O at the end of a word mean?
Possession.
Third person possession, his. So when we said lit amo, it means to his people or for his people. Now we have another ending. The ending is ot. Holam vav tough. That is the feminine. Remember I said everything is in masculine or feminine form. This is a feminine plural ending. So ot at the end of a word is going to give us a plural, like s or es. So this word we said tzivaot means army or host, but it's got an ot ending. So tzivaot means hosts or armies. Okay? So the holy, holy, holy is the Lord of armies. Now, notice this. The Lord of. What do we say that's called? The something of. What do we call that? Construct form. The something of. Adonai Tzivaot, the something Lord of hosts. The something of is construct. So whenever you want to say the something of, the Lord of, the house of, the people of, it's a construct state. So when you have Adonai, now it's not going to change necessarily the form. We're talking about translating. It's how the words come together. Adonai Tzivaot, Tzivaot by itself means what? Armies or hosts by itself. Adonai by itself means what? The Lord or God, right? Adonai Tzivaot is now in construct. So now you read the two words, not Lord hosts, but what? The Lord of hosts. The something of. Something means you got to fill in the blank with something. Okay, everybody good? Now, look, so ot at the end is what? Feminine plural. Feminine plural. It's always feminine plural. Now take a look at another word. Let's go over to... Okay, we don't have it here, but you had it in your vocabulary. Elohim. Elohim means what? God or gods with a small g. Because Elohim is what? Plural. But it's not Eloot. Why not? It's masculine. So the im ending is masculine plural. Elohim, just because the name for God, El, is a masculine term, so we have to have a masculine plural ending for it. Elohim. So Elohim is plural, im, plural, ot, plural. Tzivaot is a feminine word, needs a feminine ending. Elohim is a masculine term, needs a masculine plural ending. So now you've learned another grammatical step. Plural endings, ot and im. So if the word for day, I don't know if I've given this to you or not. What's the Hebrew word for day? Yom. Don't we say, yeah, Yom. Yom, what festival? Yom Kippur. And Yom Kippur means what? So what grammatical form is Yom Kippur? What grammatical construct? The something of. The day of the Lord. Okay? By itself, Yom means what? Kippur means covering, atonement. Together, they mean Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. The something of. Everybody, is this starting to kind of get in there? Okay, day, Yom is the day, meaning for the day, the word for day. If I want to say days, it's masculine. What am I going to say? Yomim. Yomim. Meme is masculine, plural ending.
You wouldn't say
I haven't gotten to the definite article, but since you brought us there, the word ha, or the form ha before word. And generally it is hey, patach, with a doubling dot. Sometimes the dot will be in the next consonant, sometimes it won't. Ha before word is a definite article. So if I wanted to say the day, I would say hayom. If I wanted to say the days, I would say hayomim. If I wanted to say a day, I would say yom. Now, one thing is different. If you want to say today, the usage is a definite article. Hayom can mean the day or today. Okay? So ha before word is the definite article. So take a look on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's where we are. Okay, Marlena was reading. We were working together. Let's read it together. Kadosh. Okay, now let's come just to do where I want to go. Let's read the next word together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Melo. Go. Call. Go. Ha-aretz. The word aretz means what? Land. Ha-aretz means what? The land. Okay, so we have it in this thing. Now the reason you don't see, or let me ask you, why don't we see the doubling dot? Remember, it doubles the letters. Why don't we see one here on aretz? Here's the word. Because the aleph is for all intents and purposes, it's a guttural. It can't be said. So it's like you're not going to double two gutturals. You're not going to say, right? So we don't double this one. The doubling dot won't appear. Doesn't mean it's not. So the rule is, hey, patach, doubling dot, the. Is there an exception to the rule? Yes, when it's impossible to say. Okay? Ha'aretz. You know, we're not going to do that to you. So it's just ha'aretz. We're not going to throw in a doubling dot on a guttural. That doesn't happen. So you won't see doubling dots on chetz. You won't see it on ayins. Those are guttural letters. So they won't double. So you can't put the dot in there. But that doesn't mean it's not the definite article. Is this starting to say, you know, I'm getting something? You know, I just want a light to go on. I want a door to be cracking a little bit. That you're beginning to see when you look at words. You're not just. We want to get away from looking now at symbols. Remember how we started? I'm not interested in names. Remember I said that? I only want you to be able to make the sounds. Why? Because I want you to read. But now we're moving from reading to doing what? Translating. Now we're starting to not just read, but to try to understand. In order to do that, you need to go to another step. And that is, we're looking at root forms. We're looking at what makes up the word now. They're not just letters, they're letters together in a certain way. And we're also beginning to realize that certain general rules have exceptions because it's not going to work in the real world. Okay? And keep also this in the back of your mind. Vowels are creations by Masoretes to help us learn to read. Eventually, you don't need them. Because every time you see this, what are you going to read? Eretz. So you don't need any vowels to read it. Because you know Aleph, Reis, Sadi is Eretz. And you know that if I went like this, you would say, Ha Eretz. You don't need me to tell you that because you know this is Eretz, that's the root. So what's that doing there? It must be the definite article. Why else would it be there? Or if I had a mem in front, the same thing happens. You know the mem in front of a word is really a shortened form of what word? Okay, hold on. I don't want to go too fast, but I'm excited, and I'm excited for you guys. But if you look, if you look on the first line, last word, we said, Mi Yerushalayim. What did it mean? From Jerusalem. So if I put a Mi Eretz, what does it mean? From the land. See? So you don't need vowels, not only to read, but also to translate. It's a matter of practice. It's a matter of becoming familiar. Now remember, I gave you nouns that happen 500 to 5,000 times. So if you're going to memorize some words, those are going to occur in the Bible over and over and over again. They will become rote. Certain phrases are going to become rote when you read the Bible. For example, Davar Adonai. What did I just say? The word of the Lord. So where are you going to see that 1,000 times in the Bible? Any prophet, right? The word of the Lord came to so-and-so. It's going to start out. Davar Adonai El Moshe. El, the word El. I just threw that in there. Maybe I shouldn't have. But the word El, Aleph with a Segol, with a Lamed, means two. So you have a couple of ways to do two. Lit, 2 or 4, inseparable preposition, or the word El. So now if I say, Davar Adonai El Moshe, what did I just say? To Moses. If I said, Udavar Adonai El Yeshayahu. To Isaiah. So you see, you're going to see these things over and over. And so the more you see it, the more you don't have to look for it. No longer do you have to kind of break it all down. We're breaking it down to get to do it. So this is why I want to encourage you. You see where we can run to. We're ready to run here, But you got to be able to tell me what's this letter if we need to talk about it. You got to be able to sound these things if you're going to read it for us. You got to be able to tell me the name of the vowel so we can talk about it. You need to be able to pronounce the vowel so you can read it. Now you need to memorize certain vocabulary so you can understand it. But think about this. This is what, our 5th meeting now? We're ready to put up the jib, man. We're ready to catch the wind here. So you want to practice. You want to do this so the whole class can kind of enjoy the waves, because we're getting into it now. So let's do, there's so many. Let's look at this last word, and I made a mistake in my typing. So we have Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Melo Kol Haaretz Kivodo. They should be connected. That was a typo on my part. Kivodo. Okay? Hold on. So now, look at the last word. Kavodo comes from the word kavod. The kaf with a shawah is not an inseparable preposition. How do you know that? Let me put this here. So we have this word. Make sure I get it right. That's a vav. Sorry, just a little faster. I'm really excited for you guys. This is awesome. So we said ke before a word means like or as, but it can't mean that here. Okay? It can't mean that here.
This is the exception, an exception.
Not an exception. It can't mean that here because what did I say about all words? All words. If you're going to look them up in a dictionary, a lexicon, all words what? They have a root. And the root is always what? 3 consonants. So let's take out our vowels. Take this one out, this one out. What are we left with? Ah. So now, kaf, beit, dalet. So now we know this is not added to a word. I should say this is not added to a word. It is what?
It is
the word. Okay? It is part of the word. That's right. So this is part of the word, so it can't mean like or as. So this is the word kavod, because we said kavodo. And the word kavod means glory. Okay? It can mean weight, heavy, but it means glory. Okay? That's a vocabulary. You just have to know that. But now at the end of the word, we have the holem vav. What does the holem vav tell us at the end of a word? No? No? It's the third masculine singular possessive pronoun, which means his. So now, kavodo, his, what? Glory. So now we have kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. What does that mean? Holy, 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 holy. Adonai Tzivaot.
What is melo?
Hold on. Adonai Tzivaot, what does it mean?
Our Lord of hosts.
The Lord of hosts. Now let's hold there for a minute. In Hebrew, the verb to be is oftentimes understood. Okay, it's just understood. So now let's look at this phrase again. Holy, holy, holy. What verb do we need? Is. Holy, holy, holy is Adonai Tzevaot, the Lord of hosts. Okay, so we can translate that, right?
Yes.
Malo. You don't know that vocabulary word yet, but that's the root. Got 3 letters. If you were to look up Mem Lamed Aleph, you would see that it means to be full. Malo, kol. This is kind of a cool word. You'll see this a lot. If you look, well, I didn't give you these, I don't think, but it's a word that occurs all the time. It means all. Whole, it can mean whole too, but all. Kol ha-aretz. What does ha-aretz mean? The land. What does kol ha-aretz mean? All the land. So now we know malo means full. Okay, we'll get there someday. Full. We need a verb. Is kol ha-aretz. All the land. Full is all the land. Kavodo. His glory. So we need to make it make sense in English, we need one more word to add. Of. So now, malo, kol ha'aretz kavodo. Full is all the earth with or of his glory. We don't talk like that. Yoda may talk like that. Full is all the earth. We put the subject first. The earth is full of his glory. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you need to understand now, when you bring things into English, it doesn't all the time go word for word. But if you were, let's just say, because this is out of the Bible. Oh no, I guess this is a statement. But let's just say it's in the Bible. And we see malo kol haaretz. He could have said kol haaretz, malo, right? But he says malo kol haaretz. Full is all the earth. Where's the emphasis? On the fullness of the glory of God, not the earth. See, we might translate the earth is full. And we might preach a message that says, oh, the earth is full. What a wonderful thing God is in the creation. No, no, no. That would be a bad message. It would be wrong. Because that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is the fullness of the glory of God can be seen here. We should be talking about the fullness of God's glory, not where it is. You wouldn't know that from the English. But now you have Hebrew. So now you remember when I preach sometimes I say, or teach, I may say this is in the emphatic position. What he's saying is this is what I'm drawing our attention to. Most people, they look at the English, they say, I don't know what you're saying. But now you do. Why do you? Because you've decided to try to learn Hebrew. Which goes to what my Hebrew teacher in Bible college first said. When there were 10 of us out of a class of maybe 80, he said, you guys have made the right choice in learning Hebrew before Greek. Why? Because if you know Greek, you can translate the words, but you will not appreciate the Hebraisms that the Greek words are meant to convey, because all the writers of the New Testament are Jews, and they're writing Semitically, though they're using a Greek medium to do that. The only way you can learn Hebrew style is by learning Hebrew. And the moment you learn Hebrew, no matter how weak or great, the greater is the better, I suppose, but no matter what level you're at, you'll begin to appreciate Hebrew mannerisms, Hebrew semantics, Hebrew ideas, and how they're conveyed. So here's an interesting thing. In the New Testament, when it says there was a man whose name was John, it doesn't say that at all in the Greek. What it says in the Greek was, there was a man, a name to him is John. That's how you say it in Hebrew. A name to him. You know, when we say, what is your name? Shmi, whatever, it means a name to is. In any case, I just want to encourage you that how much you're struggling, it will be well worth it, because you will not look at the Bible the same way again. I'm telling you, when you get to it, even if you see a phrase in the Bible, you'll start saying to yourself, wait a minute, the emphasis on this is on this pattern. Remember I said today, that's one of these verses that Isaiah uses. He uses all vowel sounds. He's constantly using because it sounds his heart. It expresses his mournfulness. He could use a ton of different words. He's crafting his message. And as he crafts his message, he uses words that actually sound out how he feels and how we should feel when we read it. You can't get that from the English translation. You'll get the meaning, but you won't get the nuances that are there or the emphasis that he's placing on these things. By the way, in Isaiah, he introduces it. He introduces this word, and then we'll close. Is everybody good, though? Are you having fun with this? Is it kind of, I don't want anyone to be too frustrated. If you're somewhat frustrated, practice more. But if you're really frustrated, that's not what we want. Some frustration's okay, It's all right to have the ball thrown at you 1,000 times before you can catch it. That's okay. It's not okay if it's got to go up, you never catch it. Then that's a tough place to be, and I get that. So, and we all get that in different spheres. There's a certain things, I'm not getting it, man. And stop trying to get me to get it, because it's not going to happen. I mean, like dance. Wendy, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
It's happening.
Oh, it's happening. Oh, yikes. Okay. Not a good illustration. But here's an interesting word. We'll close with this. Isaiah basically introduces it. He uses it in the first couple of chapters. And this is the word. Now, one last thing, and that is, you know what a diphthong is? A diphthong is when two sounds come together to form a new sound. So, for example, when we have this word, how do you pronounce it? I. See? So these letters come together. You don't pronounce it a ye, you know, a yeah. It's I. So it's a whole new sound that's brought together by a combination of letters. That's what a diphthong is. For example, any of you guys like Japanese food, sushi? And sometimes what you put on it is soy. So the O-Y gives you a like oi sound. You don't say soy, you know, it's soy. So we know what diphthongs are. We just may not have realized the term or recognize them. You know, that happens. So we have a diphthong here. You're not going to pronounce this hoy, you know. You're going to pronounce that hoy. And it usually translates in the, at least the translation I had, is alas. Which is another way of saying what? Maybe not woe is me, but I like to say, oh my. So what's that going to come into English? In Yiddish. Oi. And that's where it comes from. So when you see the word alas or oh, more often than not, it's the word hoy. And it's got that, the air comes out and, you know, you just naturally go, hoy, because everything's coming out. It's a way to both feel, hear, and say what you think. This is not good, you know. And oy vey, right. Let's see. I think it's my. Oh my. Okay, so are we good enough for today? I could go a little more, but it's already after 2, man. It just flew. So I want you to practice this. Okay? Practice more of this. If you come on Saturday mornings, you're doing this every week in our service. This is our liturgy. I'm not saying you have to come every morning. I realize that, but you should. No, you got to do what you got to do. But you'll see it on and I think Rex is going to be putting a better background per, I think, Wendy's request and others, so that it'll be more easily seen, right? And then you could start trying to follow along with the Hebrew. That's better than going to, I would prefer you're behind what everybody's singing and focus on the Hebrew than move along. Except if you get worship out of it, then you got to just keep going, you know. So
Is the liturgy on film? I haven't noticed.
film, it's on the overhead.
No, I'm
Oh.
talking about, I know before each service they just start recording for this sermon. But do we have the liturgy part?
I don't believe so.
We only have to do it once.
Yes. I'll talk to Rex about that.
Once you get it all pretty.
Right. Yeah, I'll ask her about that. We don't do the music because there's a license we have to get yet.
And that way for the other, for higher vision too.
Yeah, they could do as much as they want. Okay. Well, I'm holding off on lesson 4 because I don't want to really, is that where we're going? You know, it's sort of, you can see the waterfall from a distance. We're not jumping over yet, you know, that kind of thing.
Can we go over the words a little more before we go way too far?
Which words are we talking about now? That I've given you already?
Some words that were 500.
Oh, okay. All right, let's, I'm happy to,
5 or 5,000 times. Can we go over those in class?
sure, let me read them for you. You know, I don't know if I have the noun chart with me. Here it is. Hold on. I'm sorry. I think I do have it. No, I don't have it there. I thought I did. Before I take yours. Okay. I thought I had extra.
Is that the one?
Yeah. I just can't find mine for whatever reason. Okay. So let's take a look at these verbs. I'll just read them. I won't fly through them, but I'll read them normal speed so that you can at least see them. Some of them you already know, but starting with number 1, and we'll go down the columns, okay? So you already know this. And by the way, what I would suggest is you write them out on a 3x5 card, put the translation on the other side, and just periodically look at it. Remember, a little, a lot, not a whole lot, a little. So the first word, Av, Adam, Adonai, Ach, Echad, Achar, Ish, Elohim, Enosh, Eretz. Okay, so some of them you already know. Number 11, Bayin, Bayit, Bain, Davar, Derech. By the way, that's my name. Derech Chinsky means son of the way. Derech is a road or way. So when you go to Israel, you'll see like Derech Nevi'im, the way of the prophets. There's the roads are called derechs. Okay, derech, Har. So now you know Har Megiddo. Har Megiddo is the mountain of construct. The mountain of Megiddo. Armageddon is a Greekish form of the Hebrew Har Megiddo. Right. So Har is mountain. Chai, life, living. Tov, it's good. Yad, it's a hand. By the way, the pointer we use with the Torah is called a yad, because at the end of the pointer is a hand that's like this with a finger. Yad is a hand. Yom, day. How do you say days? Yomim. Kohen is priest. How do you say priests? Kohanim is plural. Kol is all. We saw it in a little different form when we had Kol haaretz, but the same thing, all. Lev, heart. Me'ah, that's the word for 100. Me'ah. Maya, of course, you can have a lot of that because you read of numbers in the Hebrew scriptures, 100 men here, or 500, Mayim, so on. Mayim is water. Melech is king. Nefesh is a soul. Eved is a servant. Ayin is an eye. That's also the name of the letter, of course, or a fountain. Ir, city. So when you have Yerushalayim, you've got the Ayin, for city, Ayin, that's in the center of Yerushalayim. We say it's with a mem at the end, but it's still the same. Ayin, Ir for Yerushalayim. Ir, city of peace. We said Amo, le'amo, to his people. His people. Panim is face. You remember when Jacob wrestled with the angel? He called the place Penaim, which is the word for face, because he fought with God and he saw his face. It's not necessarily literal. It can mean he was in his presence. But
There's an im on there, right?
yeah, faces. But panim, I think that's just the word for face. It may be like an exception. Pei, nun, mem could be that. Kodesh, holy. Rosh is head. Rosh Hashanah. Shiva is 7. Sheva, 7. Remember we say, have a good week. What's the word? Shavua Tov, Sheva. That's the root in there. 7, have a good 7, Shem is name. Shanayim is 2. Now that's interesting ending, Shanayim. Won't get into all of it, but Hebrew has 2 plural type endings. It has feminine plural, ot, masculine plural, im, then it has a dual form for 2 of something. And that's always ayim. So yadayim, 2 hands. If you were to have einayim, is 2 eyes. I think it's eyes. Shamayim, heavens, 2 heavens. So ayim is always a dual, always means 2. Not just plural, but 2 of something. And then you have Shana, year. So we had Yom HaShana, the new year, or L'Shana Tova, have a good year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Ha-Shana, Rosh, head. Ha, the, Shana, year. Okay? So those are the first 38. If you can memorize those, you've just, I have to look, I think I have one, but I couldn't find it in this moment. If you can memorize just those 38, those are words that occur 500, 5,000 times. You can almost open the Bible anywhere and you'll see one of those words or a form of it. All right, so let me pray with you guys. Thank you for your patience and your time today. Father, we thank you for your splendor, your glory, and your beauty. And we thank you, Father, for the opportunity we have to learn this language through which you've conveyed your eternal word to us. So help us, Lord, to do our due diligence as we attempt to learn it better and better, and as we desire to read it and to be able to translate it. And so, Lord, we just pray for your grace and your mercy as we embark on this journey together. Bring us all there, Lord, and may we do so with great joy and excitement. We pray in Messiah's name. Amen. Amen. Okay, so work on that. I may send you this week some sentences with some of the words we've played with, and you can read it and now start translating it.
If you enjoyed this class, please share it with your friends. We update these classes weekly, so make sure to subscribe. If you like what you see and you want to help us spread the good news of Yeshua to the greater Los Angeles area, please go to bethariel.org/give. Thank you for watching. See you next week, and shalom.